Okay, as regulars know, every month, patrons and subscribe starers, I don't really know what the daemon is over there, but any of them who support on those websites, who donate $3 or more a month, can ask me a question for that month. And then I do them all up here. If you donate $5, you get to do a shout out, and we've got one of those this month too, so it's two questions and a shout out. So we'll start off with Agony. What do you think are the most promising altcoins to supplant Bitcoin? Well, if you're asking me about the future, the answer is I don't have a freaking clue. I don't have a crystal ball. I am amazed that Bitcoin has lasted as long as it can. I mean, how long can you I didn't check to see before I started recording what the median transaction fee now is on Bitcoin, but it's fairly consistently been several dollars. And like I keep saying, no one is going to buy a cup of coffee, if they have to pay an additional, $4 or $5 for a transaction fee. No, it's not going to happen. And I'm sorry, the Lightning Network is crap. And I think at this point, the crap is so fundamental with Lightning, there's no fixing it. So yeah, I don't really know what it is that's kept people with Bitcoin for so long, but it's like, yeah, the sensible people who wanted, bigger block sizes. Because what's the big problem with bigger block sizes, people? They went off and forked off with Bitcoin Cash. Well, now Bitcoin Cash has had a problem, and some devs did something moronic, and then the sensible people have now forked off again with Bitcoin ABC. But in each case, the network effect stayed back with the ones who were doing it wrong. I don't know. It's crazy. You need a better system of governance. You need a better way of managing those transaction fees and keeping transactions low. And you need payments to be instant but secure, not that zero conf crap. This is going to come as no surprise to people who have talked to me for years about this. The one I keep looking at is Dash. Because how can you argue with it? They've just done everything right. Transactions are instant and secure, no double spends. You've got the instant send and the chain locks, keeping everything secure from double spends and 51% attacks and things like that. The transaction fees are like less than a penny. Even in times when the networks become congested, it still wasn't the case that the transaction fees were going way up. Why would they? In Bitcoin, they're going up because, the low block size and everything else means that those transactions are going to take hours and hours and hours to go through. If you use the smallest transaction fee, which is, 1,000 Satoshi per kilobyte, then you might not even get your transaction going through that day. And I mean, it's just crazy. But with Dash, they're always instant. They're always within a second or two. I don't know where all these little dust motes keep coming from. You can ask the supporters. I had to do this before I started rolling. And now I've had to do it twice now. I don't know. All sorts of stuff in the air, I guess. But yeah, Dash just does a much better way of doing it. And you're kind of looking at Dash going, wow, what more could you possibly ask for? And then you look at what they're doing over on the testnet with Dash platform. Things like sending Dash to a username instead of that big, long, scrambled up mess that you normally get with cryptocurrency addresses. You just send it to, Bob or whatever the username is. Something sensible, something that humans can actually deal with. So, and all sorts of other good things for smart contracts and things like that. It's just looking really good. Okay, Tomasz Urbański says, shout out to Sabine Hossenfelder's YouTube channel, just because I like it, and that is over here. Of course, there is going to be a link to this in the show notes, and this is Science Without the Gobbledygook. and a new video each Saturday. So go and check that out. I haven't had a chance to watch anything on it yet, but we like Thomas. He's a long-standing supporter. So we'll take his word for it and kind of mark that to go and check out later and check out all those videos. All right, and finally, Josh Havins over on Patreon. What is the best local, not cloud, backup software for Linux, preferably one that only backs up a file if it's been changed? Well, my answer is going to be the one that comes with your distro, because that's going to be tested and supported with all of the files and versions and configurations of everything that your distro maker has put together. And especially with backup software, it's important that it be reliable. And so that's how you're going to get the most reliable, is whichever one that comes with your distro, and it stays updated as you update your distro, things like that. Now, as far as the different backup software, I mean, there's a bunch of different ones, of course. One of the main ones is rsync. And a lot of the ones you're going to see are really just kind of graphical front ends for rsync. And rsync now has a GUI as well, so that is a fairly typical one to go with. Ubuntu has Timeshift, I believe it is. I actually had to look on my Debian system to see which one I use this back in time. But, that should give you an idea of how little I need to go and babysit it. I just check it, every few days just to see if the file's backed up properly. But I don't even need to go into the software to do that, because they're just tar files, and I just go and check it out. A couple other ones are Bacula, and Amanda is another good long-standing one. So there's a bunch of them that you can use. But as far as backing up a file, only if it's been changed, they pretty much all do that. Pretty much any backup system will work in 3 modes. One is a full backup. And so a full backup is just a copy of everything. And what sounds like you're wanting to avoid is making a backup of every single file every single day, because that's going to take up huge amounts of disk space unnecessarily, because you only want to back up what's changed. So, what all of them are going to be able to do is called an incremental backup. And so this is where you only back up the files that have been created or changed since the last backup. So let's say you do a full backup on Sunday. Then you do an incremental backup on Monday. You're just backing up all the files that have been changed on Monday. And then on Tuesday, you're backing up all the files that are changed on Tuesday, and so on. Now, the trade-off of that, what that means is that, like, let's say it's Friday, and a disaster happens and you need to rebuild your system, and you've got all these backups. You have to start off with the full backup from Sunday, restore that. Then go to the incremental backup from Monday, restore that. Then restore the one from Tuesday, and so on. Now, nowadays, the backup software is going to handle all that for you, so it's not the hassle that it was back in the day when we were all fooling around with 1/4-inch tapes. That I don't miss. I do not miss that. But there is a kind of middle of the road called a differential backup, and I think most of these will do differential backups as well. So the difference there is you do the full backup on Sunday. On Monday, the differential backup is going to be the same as the incremental backup. You're only backing up things that were created or changed on Monday. The difference is what happens on Tuesday. With the incremental backup, you're only backing up what was created or changed on Tuesday. With the differential backup, you're backing up all the changes on Monday and Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, it's all the changes on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So as far as disk space is concerned, the size of those backups is going to creep up a little more. But the alternative is when it comes time to restore it, you only need the full backup and the most recent differential. So you don't need all of those ones in between. You don't need to keep restoring them. And because you'll want to, every now and then you'll want to do another full backup. because otherwise it's just going to get unwieldy. And what I do with both my my system backups and my file backups is it's just every now and then I try to do it I try to keep everything going back like 6 months or so. And so every now and then I'll do a new full backup. And so it'll start doing differentials. And I can go in, after I've got like a week's worth of, like if I have 2 weeks worth of differentials, I'll go back and delete. Like if the full backup starts on the month, and let's say it's the 15th, I'll delete everything on the 1st through the 7th. I'll keep the 8th. And then the next week I'll delete like the 9th through the 14th and have the 15th. So I'll keep one from every week. And that way I can help keep the disk space down. I can do that because I'm making differential backups. If I'm doing incrementals and I try that, I might lose files because you will need every single incremental in order to get those back. So, and all these different backups, they'll usually have some method of backup scheduling for when you do a full backup and when you do the incremental or differential, when you delete files, when you make a new full, and things like that. So generally there's a good schedule that you can come up with that works for you for however you're doing the backup. So, but that's the basic idea. Use the one that comes with your distro, and they all basically have those same features. Now, you may want to do your research if you want some other features, like if you want the backup to be encrypted. A lot of them will actually use GNU PG and actually give the backups good, secure encryption. Whether or not you want to do compression, I think nowadays don't bother with compression. It's just one more thing that can go wrong. And backups, you want to be reliable. But there's all these extra features you can get with backups. It's up to you whether you use them or not. But that should do it. And that should do it for this month. So look in the links below for how you can ask a question for the month of March. And thanks to everyone who asked questions for February and everyone else who supported this channel, either by becoming a regular at Patreon or Subscribestar, or just going to donate.bogosity.tv, giving whatever you can, even pennies in crypto. And of course, what always helps, praising the algorithm, being blessed by its higher rankings via comments for the comment god and shares for the share throne, and all of that good stuff. Like, subscribe, the bell, all of that wonderful thing. And just watching and sharing always helps. Please stay tuned. Please go back and watch. I've got 10 years worth of, more than 10 years at this point. How many is it? It's gone like 14 years now. Okay, I feel old. But yeah, lots of videos going way back. Lots of good videos still to come. I think if I didn't think they were good videos, I wouldn't do them. So I think they're going to be good videos, but ultimately you're the judge of that, of course. But no matter what, please, whatever you do, always stay strong and be free.